you stop and take a little time out with me? Just take 5.
That brings me to my next slide, actually. I definitely want to talk about some of these ones that we have. I just want to talk about some of the ones.
Slideshow, by the
way. Yeah, clouds, man. I'm trying to talk about the ones that we have left in this second round of this day. I added Donovan Mitchell on there just because we know he's
he's in black and white though.
Yeah, he's in black and white because he's in Cancun. But I want to know. I got some stats for y'all, of course. I keep those. That's before last night, but I want to know who's been the most impressive performer and least impressive or disappointing performer. These are the stats that I have here for the people on slide. Halliburton's giving us 21.6 points, 6.8 assists, as well as 4 rebounds. This is before last night. Brunson's giving us 32.6 points, 6 assists, 3 boards. Shea's giving us 31 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. Luka's giving us 24, 10 boards, and 8 assists. Tatum's giving us 27, 10 boards, and 6 assists. Don Mitchell, before going to the beach, was giving us 32, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists in that series. Jokic is giving us 28, 10 boards, 8 assists. And Anthony Edwards is giving us 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists. So who's been the most impressive and who's been the most disappointing?
I'll come out and say Luka isn't on the graphic. Definitely should have had him over D. Mitch in the graphic. Actually. But I'd say just from what you just said, Luka is the most disappointing thus far. Just because he averages 24 points, and I watched the game, so his 24 points can't be efficient at all, actually. Like, not even a little bit. So it looks like he's in the box. I mean, yeah, his leg is hurt or whatever, but no, 24 points and whatever you just said, that is very not good for Luka.
Even in the first series, though.
I mean, it is also that this is the playoffs, and he's not stat padding anymore, and he's playing real team basketball.
At the same time, though, like you say that, but Shea has maintained his average, and Ant-Man has gone up in his average, and Brunson has maintained his average. Like, they still average 30.
Like, I mean, that is true. And I will go ahead and say that Ant-Man is by far and away the most impressive performer of this playoffs.
I like it.
I would say he's number one. He's the most impressive, but he's also in a really good situation.
He's in a great situation. I'll give him that.
He's in like a perfect situation, but Ant-Man has been the most impressive.
But it's just the fact that we were watching him play high school basketball 6 years ago, and now he's about to potentially be in a Western Conference Finals as like the best player in the West.
Most jarring thing for me is just the relentless Kobe comparisons. Like for someone that like I
hear more Mike comparisons than anything.
It's both. Like, folks think he's the next coming of Kobe and Mike. Like,
but he actually does play like that. So
he and Kamali, like, it is weird.
It's a fair comparison.
What's her name? But yeah, what did you say? Ant-Man average low 30 or 28?
I have him in this series at 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists.
In this series or the playoffs?
In this series.
Okay.
Versus the Nuggets.
Even in the last series, he went dumb anyway. But Ant-Man for sure, and Luka is the most disappointing as of right now.
Drew, Ian, most impressive,
most disappointing. I'll go ahead and say most disappointing in this picture is Halliburton. Individually, like I saw a few games where like he basically gagged. Like the last game in Madison Square Garden, he didn't look aggressive. He didn't look like he wanted to be the best player on the team. Like, and that was, I'm not gonna say he's a fraud for that, but like that was enlightening to see. Like, you don't ever want to see your best player, ball handler, the guy who's supposed to lead you there look like he's afraid. And like that's kind of what it seemed like to me. But he has a good opportunity to bounce back tomorrow. Game 7 in Madison Square Garden. So like we'll see like what he's really made of. Honestly, I don't expect that much from him. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're gonna lose just because like, you know, they're a pretty young team. It's an away game for them. Like I feel like the Knicks are a better team. I think they'll win. But anyways, most impressive, I was gonna say Ant-Man. Outside of Ant-Man, I think you have to go. I would say probably Brunson, like just given the fact like they, you know, there's been guys in and out of that lineup, guys struggling with health issues on that team. And like, I mean, he's been hooping. Like he's really been hooping. So I would say him.
And I never said my most disappointing. I agree with Julian. It's probably Halliburton. Initially, I would say Tatum, but I never expected him to be good in the playoffs. I was expecting him to poop it up. So I can't call it a disappointment.
Jason Tatum is playing very well, at least this series. I don't know what his numbers were.
The back end of this series, he's playing well. Before that, he was playing absolutely terrible.
That's a normal series for Jason Tatum. Honestly.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not.
Like the only thing about that is like, what are our expectations for Tatum? Like because the Celtics, it's not in a bad way though. Because the Celtics are such a good team, like he's not. I guess like maybe it's like the way he approaches the game. Like Tatum's not the guy who's just gonna like say like F the role players. Like it's not your day. Like it's gonna be my day every time he plays, which like. I guess can be a good thing and a bad thing, but like if Derek White's cooking, like Jason Tatum's gonna let him keep cooking.
That's a good
Brown's cooking.
The Celtics have like they have the highest of high end role players, and
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A lot of them too. So it's like it's not like Tatum has to have 25 plus. Like his team is super insane.
He's not going to get 35 every night, and I don't think we should expect him to really. But like in that same vein, like when it comes to the next series or even the finals, if they make it there. Like there will be times where we're gonna need Tatum to step up when the role players are not hooping.
I don't think that time will come. Sorry,
huh?
I don't think that time will come in the Eastern Conference Finals if they play the Knicks. Like
maybe not next series, but in the finals, it would definitely like we'll need Tatum to be a number one option in the finals. If Jaylen Brown is not, like I feel like we know Jaylen Brown can be, but. He'll at least have to match Jaylen Brown to win that series. So,
even if Tatum's deferring his shots to some of his role players, he's getting his shots up every game. Like he's getting 10, 15 shots up.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. He has to.
But I don't know what you think his efficiency is like. I mean, he's been playing very well.
Like, it was bad efficiency before this series.
He had a few bad games. Like
there was times in the last series where like Derek White was the best player on the court, and like okay, but like we don't really care about what happened in a 4-1 series versus the Heat with no Jimmy or Rozier like that. None of us care. We're not going to remember that. We care about what's going to happen next series and the next series after that. Like that's when we're going to remember. So
I have to second that. Honestly, none of us thought the Heat had a chance with that. Y'all are shocking me though. 31, 9, and 7.
Is that Jokic?
No, that's Shea. Shea hasn't had better playoffs, or like I would say Brunson is more impressive than Shea just because he's not playing with anybody. Like Brunson could be like Julius Randle and crumble because he has nobody to pass the ball to, but he got 40 like 5 times in a row. So like he's obviously different.
Yeah, I would say Shea too. Honestly, though, I felt like he hasn't had a bad game. Like I felt like he's been able to carry them for most of the game, but his teammates just haven't shown up at times.
Yeah, so. No, but Shea also like I don't know. His team is just built a lot better than the Knicks, but he's going dumb. Like but like y'all like to act like he hasn't played anybody good at all yet. Still, but
he didn't play anyone in the first round. That's for sure.
For sure, but nah. I mean, he's just good. Like
Yeah, so he's playing well.
I wouldn't say he's playing better than Ant-Man though. But that goes back to the thing of me saying like Ant-Man's situation is just. It's just like Shea's just 3 years down the future. Like his role players actually have playoff experience, and
For sure, but the age doesn't necessarily add up. And also, I'd say that the stakes are much higher for an Ant-Man than a Shea Gilgeous, who's just,
and the competition is serious.
Yeah, the competition is very steep.
Exactly. And they're playing the defending champ. That's why I put Ant-Man's performance over Shea's.
I like the Ant-Man and I like the Brunson, but let me say this about Shea. That's impressed me. Yes, Jacob, he has been a steady force, but I'm sitting here looking and he's averaging 7 assists. That moves me.
He's the point guard. He's basically the point guard on that team.
We run into this point guard, shooting guard, combo guard, whatever. Shea, to me, in my eyes, was known for his high level scoring. He's going to be that guy who's going to score, put up that 30 on efficient shooting, mid range layups, free throws, whatever. But when you add 7 assists to that tells me that he's playing through the double teams that they throw, the different looks, and he's able to capitalize off that. I don't know what his turnovers are. I guess I should look at that, but I don't think it's higher than 3 or anything like that. Which shows me again.
It's 2.
Yeah, so it's 2. That shows me he's passing the ball very well.
He's averaging 2 blocks a game, and
also
that is crazy. Yeah,
but that's what I'll say about Ant-Man too, though, that we have to take into account. Like, he's locking up Jamal Murray.
He is.
Sadly.
It's getting a little egregious. Like, Murray played with the elbow, bumps and bruises, cuts and scratches, whatever. But like, nah, he's sliding his feet on that bad too. So
yeah. And what's the name that goes back? Or I'll let this advance a little bit more.
But I will just say, your point, Morgan, does go back to the situation. Like, we can talk about stats, how Shea gets 7 assists. And if Ant-Man was in his position, getting doubled on the perimeter, he has shooters that he can pass it to. Ant-Man's dumping it off to McDaniels, who's going to brick a 3. And that's really his only option.
He's actually shooting pretty well.
We
have to give him credit.
We got guys. I mean,
we got to give McDaniels credit. He actually played pretty well on offense this play.
They're playing all right.
Better than we thought.
Shooting poorly.
No, he's been
better than we thought, though. I'm just saying, like, he's actually scoring the ball a little bit better than we thought. Like,
he stepped up.
Yeah,
he's gotten better over time.
And there's been a few games where he's hit a lot of big buckets in a row. Like, I can't remember exactly what game. It was one of the games they won, I think. And he came down, hit a mid-range, and then he hit a 3. And it was a big moment in the game, and they went on to win. But
he's a great piece.
We're talking about teams, though, and I understand, the Timberwolves have the experience in the playoffs, but like, let's not forget the Thunder. What were they, the most efficient 3-point shooting team? Like,
no, the Thunder are definitely built for the 3 too. Like, they are a laser shooting team. The part that separates them from the T-Wolves is they're like a piece or 2 pieces away from like actual contention at this point. They're like a real defensive anchor that isn't just 200 pounds. And like, I think one more wing that could come.
You're talking about the Thunder?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The Thunder. Like, the Timberwolves have Naz Reid off the bench, who is like a polarizing bench player. And they have Rudy Gobert, who is like Chet, but just 3-4 years down the line, like with more NBA experience. I feel like the Thunder will be in like a similar position to where the Wolves are in like 2 to 3 years.
I mean,
I think it can be good if they can keep off those players is the only thing.
Yeah.
Like the one thing about the Thunder that we don't realize, and like, I don't know if we're going to talk about, are we going to talk about like Shea and like superstardom and what we're talking about a little later?
Yeah, let's talk about that next.
I was going to talk about that series, but I mean, of course we can,
we can do it later then.
If
we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, let me get into, I guess, the disappointment. Last thing, Jokic has been great, of course. I guess that's what we expect from him, being the MVP again this year, what have you. So he's been playing very well. 50 ball in the playoffs is egregious, though. Can't let it slide. Disappointment. It's a tough word because that means you expected something different. But the thing here, though, like, I was told to expect something different from Halliburton. That's what was told to me. I was told that he was, our Team USA point guard coming off the bench, right? He was the greatest point guard in the East. That's what I was told. He's the best passer in the league. That's what I was told. Okay. 21 points. I think Halliburton is better than that. I genuinely do when it comes playoff time. I think he's better than that. I don't think he shoots the ball nearly enough as he should. 6.8 assists.
That's the one that got me. That threw me off.
Like, come on, guys. Let's be real. Like, be real with me. Be brutally honest. That's not gonna get it done, especially if you're not shooting the ball that much. It's never gonna get it done. I don't know what the turnovers are, but the turnovers are there too. He has given the ball up some as well. Okay. We got to stop with the Halliburton thing. He's a good player. No, Julie. It's not no bias in this.
What Halliburton thing?
There was a lot of smoke, and Morgan did hate it. Like at the beginning of the year, you remember, like at the beginning of the year when he was averaging 30 and 10.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like, they were saying, I remember I got off of work and I turned on my television and I saw Tim Legler, the ESPN anchor, say that Halliburton was the best player, the best offensive player in the NBA. That actually happened. So,
but it's true. Like we excuse my French, man. We were beat writing so much at the beginning of the year. Like, it got a little bit crazy. I know his efficiency was off the charts. Did turn the ball over, whatever. But as time progressed, reality started to set in. So then we had to wait, though, to see what it's like on the biggest stages. Okay, Julian. He was a deer in the headlights in MSG. He was. Not everyone can play there. Like, you have to have a certain gene to play in that situation. We're going to see it in 7. What type of player he really is once and for all. Okay. Yeah. And if it's not what we're told, then I have receipts.